What's up, everyone? This is Metroid Prime Fan 18 here, yet again, with part 3 out of 4 for my Turok series review. And this game I'm going to be reviewing this time is Turok 3 Shadow of Oblivion, or Shadow. This game received less than positive ratings than Turok 2, for obvious reasons. For one thing, graphically this game was not that impressive compared to Turok 2. Turok 2 is like the granddaddy of them all. Gameplay-wise, it also seemed lacking to some people, even though there were some new features. Many people also thought it was too short. And I agree with them on that. It's only 5 levels long, and I could beat the whole thing in 3 hours, if even that long. But here's how it goes. Story: after Joshua defeats the Primogen, his siblings, who we've never heard of before, his older sister, well, by now Josh is 24, his older sister Danielle is 27, and his younger brother Joseph is 15. And at the opening cutscene, yes, this game does have cutscenes, unlike the other two, which I think gives the game a pretty good feel. A lot of people didn't like the cutscenes, but I did. They're living in this, like, country house. It shows, pictures of them, and Josh is feeling scared, depressed from a dream he had, or a nightmare he has involving a child. Danielle comes out, tries to comfort him, and then all Josh tells her is that the child is the key. The child is the key. And as you progress in the game, you learn more about what this child really is, and you eventually find out that the child is the most evil being in the world, known as Oblivion, who you heard of somewhat in Turok 2, but you actually face him here in Turok 3. And in this game you can play as either Danielle or Joseph. Danielle is more adept in the use of explosive weapons, and she's a high jumper. And she also uses this thing called the energy grapple, which is really fun to use. It's like this little armband with a cannon that shoots out a blue solid beam of energy that sticks these little floating balls of, like a magnet ball or something, and it just drags you over to where the ball is. Joseph is a more adept in sniping, and he crawls into tighter spaces easier, and he uses night vision goggles, of course, since he goes into dark areas. And what's good about this game is each character, along with having all the basic weapons, like they both have the regular bow, they both have the pistol, the shotgun, the assault rifle, both characters have their own kinds of upgrades. Like for Danielle, the pistol upgrade is the Mag 60, which is the pistol that shoots 3 shots in one trigger press, and for Joseph it's the silenced pistol, which has the poorest excuse for a sniping scope I've ever seen. This thing barely zooms in at all. You might as well just not even zoom in. Trust me. But level design in this game is pretty good. You're not in any jungle-like environments until level 4, which is the longest level in the game. And players of the original Turok will recognize level 4, the very beginning of it, at least. Trust me, you'll know. One thing I do like about this game, though, especially, they put bosses at the end of every level. That's one thing I wanted to see these Turok games do from the beginning, was put bosses at the end of every level. In this game, they do that. And some of the bosses are kind of easy, some are hard, some are really annoying. One thing that really bugs me in this game, though, is strafing attacks is next to impossible. It seems that no matter how hard you sidestep, or how fast you try to do it, the enemies always at least hit you, even if it's just a little bit. And this goes especially for some of the bosses too. And as with the other two Turok games for the N64, you have another weapon that you collect pieces to. And this time, since there's only 5 levels, there's only 5 pieces. This weapon is called the Personal Singularity Generator, or the PSG. The PSG, in my opinion, is the best weapon out of all of them. Because, one, it's incredibly powerful. It basically has these quantum singularities, which is like a miniature black hole, in these purple balls, and you shoot it out, it creates a temporal distortion and sucks anything in, and then explodes with a great force. What's even better about it is, it has infinite ammunition. If you're playing the game regularly, no cheats at all, it takes a full minute for the gun to recharge. But for some reason, if you've acquired the gun through cheats, it only takes it 30 seconds to recharge. I always wondered why that was so. But if you find all pieces of the PSG, beating Oblivion, and especially Oblivion's essence, is a joke. I mean, the final boss, spoiler here, the final boss is Joshua, who's been infected by the essence of Oblivion. How he even gets to Oblivion's lair in the first place, we never find out. But, I mean, you just shoot one shot of the PSG anywhere in that room and he's dead. So don't cheese him if you can help it. Try to enjoy the game. He's not even that hard. Graphic-wise, this game is lacking. Some enemies seem a little low-res at long distances, and the graphics just aren't as clear as they were back in Turok 2. Now, I'm no graphic whore, I'm just saying, but graphic-wise, it is kind of lacking. Sometimes there are some areas where the graphics look really impressive. Especially the jungle level, which eventually goes into this underground volcano. The graphics in that level do look pretty amazing, I will say. Enemy design, enemies don't really go into families like they did in Turok 2, like the dinosaurs, flesh eaters, the deadkin. Here they're just kind of categorized. I mean, there's humans, there's dinosaurs, there's these SWAT guys, like SWAT police, who are indestructible to everything but the PSG, except for their aircraft. I mean, you can just, I mean, again, you have to get this by cheats to do it this way, because also, unlike the other two Turok games, there's no hub. Like in Turoks 1 and 2, there was a hub that connected all the levels of the game. This one is just one level to the next. And the police guys, the police car and the police walker can all be killed by the PSG, but the aircraft can't. But again, that's only if you use cheats. Gameplay-wise, it is pretty good. I mean, the addition of cutscenes and the gadgets you get is pretty cool. I don't think it takes away from the game at all, unlike what some of the people said. Like I said, online reviewers really bashed this game for those reasons. That's why I didn't like it. And story-wise, it's got a good story. This one actually, like I said, has cutscenes. It helps you really drive through the story of the game. You eventually find out what the child is. Like I said, it's really Oblivion. And it's also got some pretty eerie music at times. It's not like epic like the first level of Turok 2, which in my opinion is some of the best I've heard in any kind of game. But it's still pretty good. And the ending credit song is really calm, kind of sad sounding, but it's pretty good. It's got a bit of a mystery touch to it. I think that really adds to the game. So a couple flaws or gripes I have with it is, yes, the game is too short. It's also too easy, or a bit too easy. Jumping in this game, finally, a Turok game that has non-awkward jumping. The jumping in this game is spot on. So I'll give it points for that. But other than that, it's just it's not as good as the first two, but it's still a good game. So overall, I give this game about an 8.5, 8.7 out of 10. Like I said, the graphics do kind of kill it, you know, because it turns kind of low res at the end, and the game is too short, and it's kind of too easy. But, you know, decent challenge. Depends on what difficulty you play on, really. And all the separate characters upgrades is also pretty good. It's also got some pretty cool cheats in it, too. So, definitely get this game. It's the end of the Turok storyline. This storyline. It's the last game in the series, technically, storyline-wise. And it is a good game. I do like this game. I played it many times. And if you have an N64 and you have the other two Turok games, or even if you don't, buy this one. It's a fun game. Like I said, not as good as the first two, but still a good game in its own right. So with that, thus ends part 3 of my 4-part review. And next up will be Turok Evolution for the GameCube. Storyline-wise, that is the first game, but it wasn't released till after this one, so that's why I'm going in this kind of order. So until then, see you next time.